Good evening, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Allison Brown, and I am the superintendent of this wonderful school district, and I'd like to welcome you and your children to what I know will be an exciting journey over the next 13 years. And when I come to events like this, certainly for the kindergarten orientation, it blows my mind that this is the graduating class of 2038, and it just feels so far away. And I remember 13 years ago addressing the graduating class of 2025. And now, in just a couple of weeks, those same parents that were sitting here are going to be at the high school graduation as we give their children a Roslyn High School diploma. So what's my point? It goes quickly. Enjoy this moment. This is a milestone in your children's lives and in yours. I could tell you as a mother who has a daughter who is in her early 20s and a son who's entering his 20s, and I don't remember what I ate this morning, but I remember their first day of kindergarten. I remember exactly what they were wearing and how we felt. These are memories that are etched in your hearts forever. So if you're a little nervous, we got you. We understand, and we're going to take care of them, and especially coming to a school district like the Heights School. I also want to take the opportunity to thank you. Thank you for choosing Roslyn. Thank you for moving into this wonderful community and choosing us to share in the partnership of raising your children and educating them. And with that comes high expectations that you should have for us, and also promises that we need to make to you. And I can let you know that as our district, a promise is that here in Roslyn, we strive to do and create with what others are not doing or creating. It is our job to make sure that we bring in programs that are cutting edge, that give your children the opportunity above anyone else surrounding us. We also make a promise that safety and security in our schools is the most important out of everything. Without the safety and security in our schools, nothing can happen. We also want to let you know that we promise that we're going to educate your child, the whole child. It's not just about the academics, although I promise you, you will be very impressed how your children, a few weeks into kindergarten, will be able to open books, maybe some even read, write, do math, but it's about your whole child. It's about educating them socially and emotionally. And just knowing that, you know, that together as a team that we're gonna do that. And also, finally, we need to promise that these schools will become your children's second home. And for that, they need to feel valued and respected, and they need to feel comfortable, and that's something that we plan to provide for all your children. Now, I want to tell you that Miss Wood, our wonderful Heights principal, that I think you all had an opportunity to meet at kindergarten screening, unfortunately is not able to be here this evening due to a death in the family. She was very upset to not be here, but you will learn very quickly that it is not just one person in Heights that makes Heights so special. It is a village and it is a team, and we have the wonderful staff members and colleagues here at Heights that will be able to go through the presentation, answer all your questions, and you'll have plenty of opportunity to meet Miss Wood as she gets to know you and your children. But here's one request that I ask for you, is your partnership. Roslyn is who we are because of the involvement with our parents. There is no question that you can't ask us. There is no collaboration. There is no concern that you should have without letting us be part of it. That partnership between the parents and the school is what makes us most special. So please get involved, volunteer, be part of your child's experience here. Now, one very important beginning of that partnership is outside. Our district clerk is outside seeing if anyone needs to register for our school budget. That is on May 20th from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the high school, right in the back of the high school, the North Gym. I ask that you begin that partnership by getting out and voting. That is really important for us as a school to hear from our community and for you to vote. So if you have any questions regarding that, you can ask when you leave, or you can call any of us. We'll always be available to you. So again, thank you for choosing us. We promise not to disappoint you. And now, before we begin our presentation, I'd like to introduce you to someone who's very important to our district, who's really the head of it all, that makes all this happen, and that is our board president, Merrill Waxman-Benlevy.
Hi, everyone. I'm very accustomed to seeing these seats really full at kindergarten orientation. That changed a couple years ago when we started live streaming. I know that I'm talking to this whole group that I see in front of me, but I'm trying to remember there's a lot of other people at home who can hear and experience this too. So, hi everyone here, hi everyone at home, hi grandmas and grandpas who logged on too, and welcome to Roslyn. And this is gonna be a little tricky because I can't see the hands at home, but how many people here tonight are here because their first child will be attending the high school? Mostly newcomers. Welcome. Is anybody here who's coming in with their second, third, or fourth child? Okay, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Is anybody here a graduate of the Roslyn Public Schools? And welcome home. Welcome home. We've got OGs in the house, and I'm very happy to see you guys. You already know what everybody else is going to find out. And what year? I got to ask. 2000. I graduated them. Yes, I am that old. This is my 20th year and my 20th kindergarten orientation as your board president. But when I sat in the seats you're sitting in, the year was 2001, and we were talking about the graduating class of 2014, which in the year 2001, that spring, seemed like a lifetime away. I blinked, and my son was walking across the stage to me at Tillis Center. I blinked twice more 2 years later, and it was my daughter. I don't want to tell you how much blinking has been going on because I had nieces and nephews and cousins, and I still do, because we believe in keeping family together, but we are all a family. And the one thing that we also promise, there's one word that Allison left out. We're going to love your children. We're going to actually love them. And that's not a promise people usually hear in an introduction to public education anywhere. But you're going to hear it here. And you're going to hear it from me and my colleagues on the Board of Education, because we love all of our children. And we love them so dearly that it spills over onto everybody's kids. And that, my friends, is contagious, because all of our administrators feel that way, and our teaching faculty, and all of the rest of our support staff. And I do mean, you're going to find that from everyone from the assistant maintainer to the superintendent of schools. Our kids matter, and they're going to feel it. So that's a really important distinction in Roslyn. In fact, the PFA will speak to you, and thank you again for coming. Work with these gals, join with them, participate. It's first of all very rewarding, and it is important not to miss. You're not going to miss an extra hour on the computer or an extra meeting or an extra thing at work. But you're going to miss if you miss that concert or you miss that project or anytime you get invited in or you get asked, Do it, show up, participate. Do something small, do something big, but do something. Be a part of it. It matters to the kids, and it matters to your fellow parents and to the school. We are partners. And while we have a 360 view of everything globally, Board of Education is financial oversight and policy setting. It's not the really sexy stuff, but the nitty-gritty, it really does set the tone, and it really does do an awful lot. And the PFA and all our stakeholders, I thank you gals so much. Thank you for being here. It's not easy for anybody to be out at night when you have little ones at home. I don't care who you're leaving them with. It's not easy, it's disruptive, but you came here, and it's not a waste of your time, it's important. So do it as often as you can, and the kids do feel that. And I just want to say, you know, the time goes fast. Just cherish all of it, really cherish it. Like I said, it's been a long ride for me, and I'm not walking away from it yet. Why? Because it's been the greatest passion of my life. I've spent maybe a third of my life in this volunteer role that I never in a million years dreamed I would do, but I kind of sort of had to back in what was once known as the bad old days, but we don't talk about that anymore. The thing is, we fixed it, and we made it better, and the more we saw that we could, the more we wanted to. And we have grown and grown and grown, and we do things that nobody else is doing. From the kindergarten center to this high school, we are really cutting edge, and people can't, they can't. And we'll talk about some of those things. I will also say, I will work for your kids, and I will work for you every single day, 365, including weekends and holidays, because I love to. I'm going to ask you to participate for yourselves, but for all of us, I need 5 minutes of your time on May 20th or on whatever budget day it will be every year to come out for our schools. We make it very, very simple to do it. Voting is in the North Gym, which we didn't have a North Gym when the OGs went to school here, but we have one now, because we know you always needed that. So you live long enough, you keep what you loved, and you backfill what you knew you always needed, which is what we've done. North Gym, it's by the administration building. Our polls will be open from 7 o'clock in the morning until 9 p.m. Go before work. It's easier than rushing to come after work, but if you have to rush to come after work, just come. It takes 2 seconds. We make parking very accessible. Run in, run out. There'll be greeters, there'll be people with iPads. Literally, it's the quickest thing that you will have to do your civic duty. So enough said of that. And just enjoy this ride. Enjoy the next 13 years with us. I will see you again at many, many things, and I look forward to it. And if you ever have any questions, I'm in the book. You can call me, and I will pick up the phone, and I will tell you whatever it is you need to know. So again, enjoy the evening. Thank you for being here, and thank you for coming home and for choosing Roslyn to be your home. You won't be sorry, I promise.
Thank you. Before we call up our PFA to say a couple of words, I'd like to just introduce the staff members that are here this evening. Dr. Jillian Brass, Heights psychologist, school psychologist. Lindsay McDermott, our reading specialist and reading teacher. Tanya Fernandez, our Heights and district-wide social worker. Karina Baez, our assistant superintendent for curriculum and instruction. And Gina Pollack, our heart of the district, the clerical in Heights School. So I just want to make sure you were introduced. And now I'd like to call it the PFA.
Hello. Hi. My name is Alexis Rudin. I'm here with Sonia Anand and Alyssa Rader, and we will be the 3 incoming PFA presidents for next year. Just want to take a few minutes to explain what the PFA does and explain how you can get involved. The PFA, the Parent Faculty Association, is a group of parents at Roslyn. We come together to put on a lot of amazing events throughout the year. We do things like the book fair, picture day, a reading week, the carnival. We do staff appreciation lunches, holiday lunches, special events for our kids like a bingo night for the kindergartners, a first grade math night. We also support fundraisers throughout the year, especially during the holiday time for people in our community. We coordinate class parents for every class, so I know a lot of preschools have this, and this is the same for kindergarten. There'll be a class parent who will come to our meetings and go back to the classes and report any important stuff that's coming up, reminders, updates, collecting money for certain things. Excuse me. There are many ways to get involved. We have a lot of positions available, a lot of committees to join. It says up there the email address, it's heightspfa@gmail.com. I know it's not really easy to read, but you could email us. It doesn't have to be a huge commitment. It could be just coming in one day for an event, or if you want it to be a bigger commitment, it can be. We do meet once a month, as I mentioned, at the Heights cafeteria. So if you just want to hear what's going on, be in the know, you're always welcome to join for that. Alyssa has actually been a PFA president in the past and is now rejoining the Heights PFA, so I'll let her speak a little bit if she wants to say anything about that.
Just to add on, I'm so excited to be back. I love these faces that I see. It's seriously like Pleasantville when you walk into this school, and I'm so excited to be back. So I hope you guys come and join us. Even if it's, like you said, a little bit here and there, it's just so nice. They're only in kindergarten one time, and it's like the best experience. So I hope you join us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know. Okay.
Okay, little out of order. Dr. Brass, our school psychologist, is going to be going over some of more of the logistical things with Heights. I'm just going to talk briefly about the academics. You will be getting a ton of information at Back to School Night when you join us. But I just wanted to go over some of the key components. They're all in your pamphlet. They are also on the slides, but if you have any questions, certainly at the end, feel free to ask, or you can always find me individually. One of the largest things, and certainly a focal point for our time at Heights, is literacy, literacy, literacy. We're learning about reading and writing every single day in a myriad of different ways. Our reading curriculum focuses on the 5 main pillars of reading. So we go over phonics, phonemic awareness, fluency, comprehension, and vocabulary. Our core components, we have a phonics curriculum that's based on foundations. We have a phonemic awareness program called Tegrity. Those 2 programs combine to help students with something called the alphabetic principle, and that's just a fancy way of saying we're going to do a lot of work with letter names and sounds, and when we have that down pat, we're going to be learning to combine them and pull them apart to read and write. We ask that parents be our reading partners and expose your children to as much literacy in their environment and at home. I always tell parents as the reading teacher that there is no app to replace a parent's lap, and we mean that because it's so important to read and speak with your child every single day. And it doesn't always have to be out of a book, believe it or not. It could be just talking about, a family event that you had, or it could be talking about something, a program or a movie that you watched on TV, but it's all about the language, and we engage in language-rich experiences every single day in our kindergarten classroom, and it's something that your kindergarten teacher will talk to you about at back to school night, and ways that you can get involved with that. In math, it's another huge part of the kindergarten day. There's a reading block every single day as well as a math block. During that time, children are going over various different strands of math. And so what that really looks like in kindergarten for numeracy is that the children are learning and exploring the numbers 0 through 20. And then for addition and subtraction concepts, they're only doing that through 10 in kindergarten, and that's something that's built upon the math program that we use here. It's excellent and it's cyclical, so what they learn in kindergarten, they kind of learn again, but a little bit more, and it's added upon in the grades ahead. Visually, the children also work through geometry, both 2 and 3D shapes. And then in the measurement and data domain, children work with length, height, and weight, and learning to make and interpret graphs. Again, all of that is done in a very hands-on manner. A lot of manipulatives used. Parents share those manipulatives. Teachers share those manipulatives with parents at home to try and engage. As the PFA mentioned, they have an awesome math night that they support, but a lot of game playing is also done in the classroom. So the math program that we have, Go Math, it embeds a lot of gameplay to go over the concepts, and then those games can also be carried home and played at home. And lastly, our social studies curriculum, it has a lot to do with the students' awareness of both themselves and how they're growing and changing, and also like appreciation for themselves and their special characteristics. Likewise, it also is talking about themselves in relation to other people and the relationships that they have, and not only their needs, but the needs of others, and how they kind of relate in their community as well as to other people. We have a book of the month at Heights that talks a lot about respect and empathy, and kind of children's place like in the world and how they relate to other people, and that's something that Miss Wood, our principal, comes to each individual class and reads, and there's a theme for the month, and that also relates to like our civics and social studies program. And now, you ready? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Brass. And also, if anybody didn't, when they came in, get a pamphlet, this is like a really good like Cliff Notes version of kind of everything that we're going over. So if anyone needs one, just make sure to find me. And I think there's some out in the lobby as well, if you need one.
Okay, hi everyone. So we work with kindergartners, so we are nothing if not flexible. So I'm going to just kind of go through some of the logistical information about the day. So in terms of transportation and arrival at school, all students are entitled to a bus. Buses start dropping kids off at the Heights at 8:55, and generally arrival continues for about 15 minutes through 9:10. There are always 2 entrances that the buses pull up on either side of the building. The students are greeted by teachers and TAs as they step off the bus. The first few days of school, of course, there are many staff members on hand to help them find their way to their classrooms. When they get to their classrooms every morning, their teacher is there to greet them in the doorway. If you want to drop your kid off, if you're planning to drive your kid to school, we do have drop-offs in the circle in the front of the school. And again, those go from 8:55 to 9:10. After 9:10, you will have to go to the main entrance and sign your student in as late. Okay, so security. This is very important, top priority for us, top priority for all of you. We have a full-time security guard at Heights. It is someone who is a retired member of law enforcement. We also have a visitor protocol. So if you're coming to Heights, you're going to need an appointment. And when you get there, you'll have to check in, show your ID. You will get a badge, a visitor badge while you're there. and then you'll have your ID returned to you when you leave the building.
Good evening and welcome. First, I want to
It's
say how
Mary Wood,
sorry I am
everybody.
that I cannot be here this evening. I truly wish I could be there tonight. That being said, I am so
It's like
glad
the voice
many
of
of us
God, right? And we do have surveillance cameras throughout the building and also in our outside grounds areas. We do practice drills with the kids. We do exit drills, lockout drills, and lockdown drills. If we've done a lockdown drill, you will get an email notifying you that we've practiced it. And we have a very strong collaboration with the Nassau County Police Department. And I can't move this now. Okay. We do have, if we had the, oh, the slideshow is back. We have a picture of our security entrance, but just so you know what it looks like is there are two sets of doors. When you come to visit Heights, when you have your appointment, you'll be buzzed through the first set of doors where you'll meet our greeter, Ms. Hernandez, and you will be signed into the building. If you're just dropping something off at that point, if your student left their backpack or their lunch or something like that, you'll leave it in that vestibule area and it will be delivered to the classroom. Okay, for our kindergarten classroom ratios, every classroom has one teacher and one teaching assistant. There are currently, and we expect next year as well, 10 kindergarten classes. We also have 2 self-contained kindergarten classes that are in the school as well, and the students in those classes mainstream with the 10 general ed classes for program areas and lunch and recess. There will be a class that has a special education teacher pushing into the classroom, and we will also have classes with additional teacher assistants, as well as 4 to 5 classes with push-in English as a new language instructional support. So curriculum, we did that. So Ms. McDermott went over the math and the reading and the social studies. We also do social emotional learning at Heights. So we're not just raising scholars, we are raising future citizens of this community, society, and the world. So we want to also make sure we're really building that character education. We have our books of the month that were already discussed. They often focus on a social emotional topic. We also have our Second Step program, which is led by Ms. Fernandez, our social worker. She goes through basic emotional regulation, coping, and social skills with the students. We also use Responsive Classroom, which is a social emotional management system for the classroom. It helps kids develop their own skills as well as skills for reacting and problem solving in different social situations. We do a lot of mindfulness at Heights. We do a lot of social problem solving, and we really work on that growth mindset to help the kids believe that as they practice and as they develop their skills, they can achieve whatever skills they want to acquire. I will say our kindergartners come in with a wide variety of experience. All of them are learning how to express their feelings. All of them are learning what to do when things don't go exactly the way they want, or when the friend they want to play with doesn't want to play with them. So there are a lot of naturalistic opportunities to work with them and to teach them some of these important life social skills. For our school-wide community, we have several events every year. We have our Martin Luther King Jr. Peace March. We also, coordinated by our PFA, have donation drives where the kids get to learn about how they can give back to the community and help people who need assistance. We have our Cultured Kids program. So every spring, the kids get to visit different countries and learn about those countries from some of our PFA volunteers. And we also have our Brady Reimer concert. We have that during Neurodiversity Awareness Month. It's a hugely popular event every year. He comes and he plays a concert for the kids, and they have a great time dancing and singing along. For our special area classes, we have physical education 2 times a week. Then we also have library once a week, music once a week, and STEAM once a week. STEAM is science, technology, engineering, art, and math. It goes through the program of analysis, which is posing questions, inquiry, which is seeking answers, and design, which is developing solutions. And some of the things that they cover in STEAM class are weather, plants, animals, solids, and liquids. But it's really teaching the kids to think of a question, develop a plan, try the plan, and then we don't expect it to work the first time. We expect to go back and have to try different things and find different ways to try to come to those answers. We have field trips at Heights. Some of them include the Pumpkin Patch and the Bryant Library, and then there are other trips by grade and by class. For snack and recess, every class has a snack time. It will be at different times of the day depending on what that class's schedule is. And in kindergarten, the kids go to the playground twice a day. So they have their recess during lunch, and then they have an additional recess time during the day, weather permitting. For lunch and recess, there are 3 different lunch recess periods. So the first one starts at 10:40, the second starts at 11:50, and the third starts at 12:55. There are 2 lunch monitors per class, and we also have a recreation specialist. So this is a really cool thing that Roslyn does, that we basically have an additional phys ed teacher whose job it is to help the kids during recess play organized games and do fun sports and help them to do more structured activities if that's what they choose to do that day. We have hot lunch in the cafeteria. I think right now we have 2 selections of hot lunch. And we also have, the good old standbys of sandwiches, yogurts, bagels, etc. And there is also ice cream. If you would like to have your child purchase ice cream, please send in exact change or cash in an envelope with your child's name. Did I get that right, Ms. Pollock? Okay. Gina's really the captain of this ship, so. Okay, so bus dismissal. This is actually, so we've had a few administrators in the building recently. This is such a cool system, the way the kids learn to do this. So we call the kids by bus and by entrance because the buses leave from 3 different exits. So we'll let them know the exit and the bus number. The kids will line up, and then they'll go get in a line, and a teacher will escort them to their bus at the end of every afternoon. The kids get it down so well, like it is really like clockwork. They all know exactly where they're going, but they are assisted just in case. If you want to pick your child up, dismissal begins at 3 o'clock. It's going to be at the main entrance. We do not do pickups for play dates. If you have a permanent carpool, so something that happens regularly, you can register that as well as permanent pickups. There will be an August email for the form for that. And if you want to communicate a pickup change, then you will use Pickup Patrol is the program that we use. Nailing this. There's going to be a bus orientation on August 27th. There is a rain date for August 28th. Students love taking the bus. You will get the information sent in the mail in the beginning of August, which will tell you what your bus stop is, what the pickup time is, the number of the bus that your child is taking, and we have a monitor who rides each bus in kindergarten. The kids do have assigned seats, and you will get an email sent if the bus is running late for some reason. If you think that you missed the bus, then you'll have the number to call transportation to let them know. If we were using the presentation, you could see a really nice picture of the kids looking really excited on the bus. So you can just picture. This is going to be exciting. We're going to go through all the slides now. Look at all the happy kids doing different things. I like that one because you can see the kids like jumping to the music. Okay, so here's some pictures of what the specials look like that I mentioned before. So this is physical education. There's our library class and our music class. There's some STEAM, field trips. All right, and here are the happy kids on the bus. And you can see for bus orientation, sometimes Paw Patrol comes. Okay, so this is just logistical information here. So you're going to want to set up your portal account when you receive the information in the mail. You'll also use the portal to find out what your class assignment is in late August. So that's when you'll find out what class your child will be in. You have to go through the portal. They cannot give you the information over the phone. For the meet and greet, so we have a kindergarten meet and greet. You have the opportunity to come in and see the classroom and meet your child's kindergarten teacher before the school year starts. So that will be on August 28th. For celebrations, parents are invited to come in and celebrate birthdays with the kids. The teacher will tell you what they do, but generally it's something like a book and a snack. There are a lot of different communications you will receive. So you'll get the Heights and district emails automatically. Different teachers use different things. So some of the teachers use the Remind app, some use Class Dojo, some just use email. So you'll find out what your teacher uses and just make sure that you're checking all your communications from your teacher. You can also, we encourage you, sign up for emails from the Heights PFA so you know what's going on with our PFA. And you will also be receiving in the mail a letter from both your child's teacher and from Ms. Wood. And this is just, I mean, look, I'm very biased. I think Heights is the best place in the entire world, and it is the start of a really exciting journey of learning, not just academics, but about who your child is going to be. And we're very excited to be on that journey with you and take those first steps starting in September. Questions? Anyone? Bueller? Yes.
Depending on, what route and what bus it is. But you'll get all that information over the summer directly from our transportation department.
Still $1.25. Yep. So it varies, but usually between like 18 and 22. I think this year it's 19-ish. Anyone else? The ice cream still gets good reviews too. Yes. So we have 2 self-contained classes that are part of our kindergarten. Students are placed there through having an IEP, so your student would not be placed there without you knowing about it. Okay, if you have more questions at any time, you know how to reach us. I know this is an anxiety-provoking time, but also a very exciting time. So we are very excited to welcome your students in September. And thank you for joining us tonight.